he was the guy who told me about Epstein's Island more than a decade ago. And I thought it was the craziest thing I'd ever heard. I was like, what are you saying? There's an island. Like, it sounds like a plot in a movie. There's an island where they fly famous rich scientists and politicians, and they compromise them with underage girls and get it on film so they could use it against them. I'm like, what? That sounds like horseshit. That sounds like lizard people. It sounds like, 5G creates COVID. Same thing.
Yeah.
But turns out it was true. And it's one of many things. He was the first one to warn me about a social credit score system. He's like, they're going to try to implement a social credit score system, and your money is going to be tied. They'll have centralized digital currency, and your money will be tied to your social credit score system. And you step out of line, you won't be able to buy things. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to do anything. They're going to try to keep you within a 15-minute radius of your home, and they're starting to do that in places.
Yeah, that's
all of it.
Joe Rogan's talking about Alex Jones and how right he's been about so many things. But just stop for a second and think about what Joe Rogan is discussing with his host or his guest on his show. Do you see how absurd it is to believe that Jeffrey Epstein, some dude that had no job, he was a low-level substitute math teacher, gets plucked from obscurity into some kind of trading job, and then he's worth billions of dollars. And he is then compromising billionaires, politicians, princes, you name it. We just had a 3 million to 6 million file dump, emails, pictures, videos. I can't imagine if you went through my 50 plus years, all of the 8x12s, all the black and whites, all the 8mm, 16mm film, all of the pictures I've taken, hundreds of thousands, maybe. Honestly, 1 million? No way. 3 million? 6 million? Get out of here. Do you understand how much that is? The people that are in our government, the people that are in our entertainment, the people that are in our news media, the people that are in science, the people that are in healthcare, the people that are billionaires have been to his island. I interviewed Hope Green, written a book about it, sworn in front of oath and God and country, stating, yes, I was trafficked on Epstein's Island for years. Yes, Hillary Clinton were there. Yes, as I interviewed her, she said the most evil, allegedly, the most evil person that she ever encountered on that island, the most sadistic, was Hillary Clinton. We're going to continue to dance around this insanity of Jeffrey Epstein. We have someone I really respect, Trump, saying it's a hoax. Well, is it a hoax, sir, or is it not? We just had 3 to 6 million file dumps. That doesn't look like a hoax. And I'm supposed to believe that all of these people went to Pedophile Island on the Little Lolita Express after he was convicted and spent whatever bullshit time they gave him. But he was a convicted pedophile, a sexual deviant that was a sex offender and on the sex registry, and all these people kept going to them. Stop for a second and think of your best friend. Your best friend. And now your best friend is popped in a sting where he is a pedophile. Please don't go down that road with me and tell me that 13, 14, 15-year-old girls they know what they're doing. Have any of you ever spoken to an 8th grade, a 7th grade, a 6th grade, a freshman in high school, a sophomore in high school? Have you ever talked to those girls? Well, I have, because I had 4 sisters and they had a plethora of friends. Now I have nieces and nephews. They have no idea. They have zero concept of sex, zero understanding of the complexities of it. the morality of it. And you are going to sit here and tell me, well, they were, just teenagers. It's okay. It's not as bad as having sex with 5-year-olds. Can you believe we've gone to the depths of evil that we are now trying to justify or split hairs between banging a 5-year-old, which is raping a 5-year-old, and raping a 13-year-old? I'm sure the 13-year-old really loved it. She enjoyed it. You remember when you were 13? Can you just stop for a second and try to remember when you were 13? It was like 8th grade. Your mom or your dad would take you to 7-Eleven, or you and your friends got on your bike and went to the convenience store, got a Slurpee or a Coke and a candy bar, and you ate there, and you sat on the outside of the curb, hanging out with your friends. You drive to a park, and you guys are on swing sets or just driving around doing jumps. See some cute girl from school, you drive over there and talk to them all shy, and your friends are busting your balls. No, 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 no. Not these 13-year-old girls. See, they were on their backs with their legs spread, and they were being raped by Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all of the politicians that go there, all of the Bill Gates who got STDs from Russian hookers. And I'm supposed to sit here and talk to you and act as if this is a hoax. I'm supposed to sit here in front of you and act as if it's normal for you to find out that your best friend is a pedophile, goes in front of a court, makes some kind of bullshit deal with the devil, and he's still a registered sex offender for raping young girls. You cannot have sex with underage people. That is called rape, because underage people do not have the capacity, the emotional, the spiritual, or the intellectual capacity to agree to have sex. So now we have Mr. Epstein, who is a registered sex offender, likes to rape young girls, and then all of the elites all clamor to get on his plane and go to his island. Again, let's go back. I'm going to ask this question. Your best friend is arrested as a pedophile, and he tells you, hey, you want to go on vacation? Let's go to Hawaii, or let's go to Destin or San Diego. No, thank you. I'm here for you to a point because I want to help you. But there is a giant wall now between you and I. And now that I have children, if I have children, that wall goes to the sky, and I want nothing to do with you. But these people went and had parties with him. There were teenage girls as young, and girls younger than 10, and boys younger than 10. But let's just play the game that you want to play, where you make it okay for 13-year-old girls to be at a party with adults with a guy that's convicted of already raping girls that are in their teenage years. And now you're at a party, and 13-year-old girls, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls are giving you back massages, Bill Clinton. If I was in an airport, or if I was in someone's house, or if I was at a park, and my friend showed up and said, hey, JJ, this is my friend Samantha. She is a sophomore in high school. She's 16 years old. And Samantha, I say, hi, Samantha, how are you doing? Where do you go to school? All that. It's very nice, but I know my friend's a pedophile. And I'm like, well, how do you know my friend, Mr. Epstein? Well, and she gives me some bullshit story. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. Mr. Epstein doesn't have a teenage daughter. What is a random teenage girl hanging out with the registered sex offender pedophile? And then I don't excuse myself and say, I'm out of here. Call the cops and say, something ain't right. Nope, I don't do that. You know what I do? I let that little girl give me a back massage. Do you see, when we start talking about it in this kind of frame, this sequence, how absurd it is? There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I'm going to talk about next in a few seconds. I'm going to talk about Bill Gates and him having STDs. I want you, when I get to that part of the show, I really, really want to focus in on not just the evil and how morally sick the people that lead us are. I want you to see how stupid the people are that lead us. Do I look at Bill Gates and negate what he's done as businessman and what he's accomplished? No. It takes some kind of intellect, determination, perseverance, but it doesn't make you a genius of all aspects of life. You were at a genius level at that moment in your life, and that should be accepted and celebrated and acknowledged. But you're not a scientist, dude. You never went to medical school. You've never become a doctor of anything. You don't have the right to tell me about vaccines. You don't have the right to tell me about anything, actually. Population, overpopulation, as you are raping young Russian girls that are giving you STDs, and then you are so grossly stupid that you put it in an email? And I know now he's saying, well, those emails are fake. Really? Really? No, I think you are that morally bankrupt. And I really believe men that get in a position like that they're so arrogant that they think they'll never get caught. And they think they're better than all of us. I wonder if that guy has ever got naked and looked at himself in the mirror after he got out of the shower. And he has to have looked at himself in disgust. He looks disgusting. He looks so disgusting that he has to rape little Russian girls. Hard topic today. But I don't care because we're going to continue. I go on, did my documentary, What is Treason? Trafficked. 550,000 unaccompanied alien children trafficked into America disappeared. They found 130,000 of them so far in 1 year. They're still missing over 420 plus thousand. And I will tell you that they're actually at least 1 million crossed under Joe Biden. Gone, can't find them. And when I go talk to groups, either be a paid gig or somebody just ask me, hey, can you just come and talk about this? Yeah, I can. It's going to be difficult, but we have to discuss it. And let's talk about this woman, Virginia Guffrey. She's dead now because a bus hit her. You believe that? A bus hit her? She survived all the trafficking at Jeffrey Epstein's island, known, confirmed victim of trafficking. And she survives all that horror, and she gets hit by a bus and dies. You believe that? If you believe that, then why don't I tell you about the moon landing? I think we can talk about the moon landing. And if you believe that, I'll talk to you about a vaccination, a vaccine that cures you. Uh-huh. And what we're going to see here is the prince, the inbred, disgusting monarchy of England. I can't stand England. I can't stand the kings and queens. Get the fuck out of here. Those inbred pieces of trash. I wouldn't bow down to the queen or look that stupid King Charles with his big ears and his doopy sons. They're all inbred. But let's listen to Miss Guffrey.
I was so young. Keelan woke me up in the morning and said, you're going to meet a prince today. I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, let's dance together. And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
Okay, let's see
I was so
something.
young. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince
I want to
Andrew's
see
like,
this.
when Prince Andrew came to her house.
All right. This is important. It's just what I've been saying. You see that sweet little girl? She should be going to prom or going to the homecoming dance, going to the Friday night football game, going on a double date with her best friend, and being all nervous and shy on her first date. Like, are they going to hold hands? Will she kiss him at good night? Look at her. What is she, 15, 16, 17 maybe, tops? And the prince is raping her? This is confirmed. This isn't hearsay or I wonder if. Look at what we've become in America. If you don't believe the CIA and Mossad or maybe even MI6 are involved in this, you're an absolute fool. And everyone's tied it to Israel, the Mossad, and our CIA. And now understand this. Understand why you're looking at this young girl, that Speaker Johnson, because he's not too bright, gives a speech and he says, well, we have to redact a great bit of this because of it would divulge our agency's techniques. Well, hold on a second, jackass. It's supposed to be a hoax. Well, when you say agency, that the only agency that would partake in this would be our CIA, and then foreign connections, that would be Israel. So I want you to understand this, because when you bring it down to the brass tacks, you have to make this statement. Our government knowingly facilitated young women and boys to be raped by the elites in order to have leverage on them. Can you imagine? Just as we look at this young girl, this beautiful, beautiful young girl. I have nieces. God almighty. Have you ever talked to, like, if you can't remember, your mind's kind of cloudy when you were in high school. I have a niece, beautiful, beautiful young girl. It's turned into be a young woman. She's a sophomore in high school. She's goofy. She's beautiful, as a young woman would become a young woman, and she's growing and she's beautifully kind and sweet, but she's goofy. She doesn't know. She thinks she's pretty. She's hoping she's pretty. She's very pretty. She doesn't understand what that translates in the world. If you talk to her about sex, she would blush because she's like, it's like asking her to go to Mars. It's not going to happen for a long, long time. They're innocent. I don't care how you try to cut this or how you try to manipulate. They are little, tiny girls. Have you ever been around these girls? They're giggling. They're embarrassed. They're nervous to talk to boys. We're not talking about being nervous talking to boys. That young girl in that picture is now going to go and be raped by that prince after she's been raped by Jeffrey Epstein and then passed around to all of these people. Just like I interviewed Miss Green. I said to her, they're saying there's about 1,000 girls. That means that there's 1,000 Johns. And she said, no, I just laid it out there because I knew I wanted to tee it up for her. And she goes, no, there's not 1,000 Johns. That means every man that came on Epstein Island raped one girl, and that's it. Those girls were shared amongst thousands and thousands and thousands of men. And those girls of 1,000 were not 1,000. They were hundreds of thousands and hundreds of thousands of Johns. Now it gets to be much bigger problem, doesn't it? It's not Prince, this douchebag, and another douchebag, Bill Clinton, and the third douchebag, Gates, having some crazy orgies. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people involved. I talked about this before I came on. It's just an X post. I'm going to pull it up. This is from Gunther Engelman. Epstein getting an email from Gates begging Epstein for antibiotics that he can secretly slip into his wife's drink or food, who knows, because the hookers, underage allegedly hookers from Russia, gave Bill Gates STDs. And he believed that he had passed that on to his wife that now needed some type of penicillin. Bill Gates was a genius in a moment in his life. He's now evil. He's not the smartest man in the world. You're telling me that you have to fly to an island in order to have sex with women? You're a billionaire. As grotesque as you are, all you have to do is go to Vegas, for God's sake. Get a high-class call girl for $20, $30, $100,000. Who cares? $100,000 a night? He makes $100,000 in the first 30 seconds that he wakes up in the morning. But he doesn't want hookers from Vegas, high class, quote, high class call girls. No, he wants girls. Girls. So he has to fly to an island and present himself as the douchebag he is, knowing that this guy has got him by the nuts. And then this idiot sends an email asking how he's going to get his wife cleared of her STD. Do you begin to realize how vile the people that have the most power in our lives? Have you ever just asked yourself, how did they get to this power? I interviewed a woman who was one of the first participants in MK Ultra sex magic. A New York Times bestselling author, a doctor, a physical doctor, Dr. Juliet Engel. And she said to me, have you ever noticed or ever asked yourself how that person is a famous singer and they can't carry a note? How that person is a famous actor or actress and they can't act? Or a politician that can't string 3, 4, 5 words together. They're incompetent. She says they're MK Ultra. And I saw this clip of Ricky Gervais at the Oscars, and I found it very telling. And we'll pause it when I want to on this. But I want you to understand, and I know you do, my audience is smart. This pedophilia, this sexual perversion, this child sex trafficking, the child sacrifice, the adrenochrome, all of that is in the upper echelons of our societies. Excuse me. Let's watch it.
TV and film executives in the world, people from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No.
He's joking about pedophilia. Can you imagine you're in wherever? You're at a conference. You're having drinks. It's kind of like a cocktail hour, and you're all pushed into some kind of auditorium, and the speaker begins to make jokes of pedophilia. You're going to laugh? Is there anything funny about pedophilia? Anything at all about a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old little child getting raped 20 times a day for a year until they're raped to death and earning $250,000 for a year? That's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. Is it funny when the little girl, when it's 3 years old, and that tiny little body of hers and her tiny little vagina that has, it's just a girl, so like a little baby, and then a grown man with an erect penis is penetrating her vaginally and anally and destroys her body? That's funny. My God, that's so funny. What about the little boy that's 7 years old that's getting ass raped and destroys his anus to the point that he can't go to the bathroom normally and has 15, 20 surgeries to correct his anus? That's funny. Oh my God, let's laugh. Virginia Guthrie, teenager, being raped by a prince, being raped by Epstein, being raped by all these men that were in that audience. That's funny, isn't it? Isn't it funny? Of course we would all laugh, right? Of course we would.
No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way. So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
They laugh. The guy's telling him he's your friend, the pedophile. The registered sex offender's your friend, and they all laugh because they know it. They're all in on the joke. And the joke is that we like to rape children. And Hollywood is a pedophile ring. The United States federal government, the Senate and the House and the presidency is a pedophile ring. The people I interviewed for my documentary that have all the alphabets behind their name and couldn't talk to me on the record told me, you got to understand something, my man. Congressmen and senators are pedophiles. Past presidents are pedophiles. We know it. We all know it.
You had to make your own way here and your own plane, didn't you? So if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
Oh, look who ends up on there. Interesting. Interesting. Let's just keep going on, okay? Shall we? This is something. Let's see if this has. They talk about this as pizza. Pizzagate. Have you ever emailed people randomly, your friends just randomly, and talk about pizza in strange ways? Of course you have. Of course you have. Let's listen to this guy.
If you look up the word pizza in the Epstein files, there is some weird stuff. Sit down, because I know you won't believe this. Are you sitting? Jeffrey says he wants to go out to a pizza place with you. In parentheses, he did not mention a particular pizza place, but he knows you are in the know on this. What does that mean? They respond, holy shit, I am sitting. As a matter of fact, I am sitting on the number Q subway, making a pilgrimage to DeFara's Pizza in Brooklyn and then to Daytona's in Coney Island. Never been to either one. Then I need to find a good place for us tonight. The trifecta. I've never done 3 in a day. Why? December 13th, 2016. Okay for Bobby Slayton to stay in apartment May 24th through 30th? May 24th. Send pizza to Bobby. May 25th at 10:30 in the morning, order pizza for Bobby Slayton. This is Bobby Slayton, and I will at his Instagram in the comments. And does it even really need to be said? Your pizza is yummy, yummy. Thank you for the pizza today. Really good. Epstein sarcastically sent a text that said Goyam, and then someone else said pizza and grape soda tomorrow for lunch. That's not the only time people say pizza and grape soda. We need to bring back public hangings.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we. Yeah, public hangings for sure. You believe that pizza and emails by men asking for pizza and by different codes, are you that stupid that you believe that that's not a something other than what it is? Can we all just get into reality and just kind of, understand that we're lied to, constantly lied to? I'm going to show you a video of Putin in Russia. It is not a coincidence that the leader of Russia is the bad guy and everyone hates him. Why? Because he is one of the few leaders, him and Orban in Hungary, that just speak the truth. He's given a speech here, and I'm going to quote him. The West is run by satanic pedophiles. They're destroying the institution of family piece by piece. Tell me where he's wrong.
Ведут против нас все более агрессивные информационные атаки. Целью выбирают прежде всего, конечно, молодых людей, молодые поколения. И здесь опять лгут постоянно, извращают исторические факты, не прекращают нападки на нашу культуру, на русскую православную церковь, другие традиционные религиозные организации нашей страны. Посмотрите, что они делают со своими собственными народами. Разрушение семьи, культурной и национальной идентичности, извращение, издевательства над детьми вплоть до педофилии объявляются нормой их жизни. А священнослужители, священников принуждают благословлять однополые браки. Да Бог с ними, пускай что хотят, то и делают. Что здесь хочется сказать? Взрослые люди имеют право жить, как хотят. Мы к этому так и относились в России, и всегда к этому будем так относиться. Никто в частную жизнь не вторгается, и мы не собираемся этого делать. Но хочется им сказать, посмотрите, извините меня, священное писание, главные книги всех других мировых религий. Там все сказано, в том числе то, что семья – это союз мужчины и женщины. Но и эти...
So he's the bad guy. Vladimir Putin is the bad guy. We have to kill him. Why? Who says that? Well, everyone. What about Lindsay? Don't ask, don't tell Graham. Well, why? I would think as a Christian nation, we look at Russia and go, you know what? We're aligned with them. No. We're aligned with Israel. What? They don't believe in our Savior. Russia believes in our Savior. Putin and Russia believe in Jesus Christ, but I have to listen to a country that hates my Savior? That's my best ally? Russia hasn't brought us into a war, have they? Since the curtain's fallen, have we been to war with Russia? How many wars have we been in with Israel? Oh, JG, don't shut your mouth. Don't say that out loud. I just did. I'm going to show you another video of Mr. Putin. Let me get it big on my screen, okay? Because I want you, it's subtitled, and I want you to hear it. See it, excuse me. I'm going to quote him saying, they eat human flesh. Do not mistake that in America, we are deep in child sacrifice. If you think that is a conspiracy theory, you need to wake up. Like really, really wake yourself up.
В западных элитах очень сильно желание заморозить существующее положение, несправедливое положение вещей в международных делах. Они привыкли столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров заканчивается.
Let me read that. They're used to filling their bellies. Play that mon.
Столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами.
Filling their bellies for centuries with human flesh and their pockets with money. Do you think he's lying? Do you think that man's lying? Or do you think he's telling the truth? Why do they hate him so much? Ever notice that? Am I saying that Putin's a good guy? Nope, he's a strong arm. But he's brought his country back from the depths of absolute hell. And he's a Christian. Believes in Jesus Christ. Believes in the sanctity of marriage and one woman and one man. Believes that sexual perversion should be at the minimum locked away into a house at the worst, or at the best removed from society altogether. But he's the bad guy. See, he's the bad guy. Do you see how much we have been lied to, like our whole entire lives, to include present day? I saw this video. Gosh, that's to be over a year now. Okay. And it's a young model named Gabriela Rico Jimenez. And she got done attending a quote elite party, and I believe it is in Brazil. And I want you to hear her. She comes out and they said, "Oh, this woman's crazy. She's absolutely crazy." And what happened to this woman immediately thereafter is she disappeared, never to be found again. But listen what she says.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! ¡Comieron!
Yeah, she's crazy. And then she disappears. I'm sure she was like drug overdose or something. But for us to believe, like truly, truly believe that we can kill babies in the womb all the way up to 65 million, up to the birth canal. We can mutilate children, sexually rape children, and yet child sacrifice, oh, that's a bridge too far. Oh my God. Are you that fucking stupid? Are you? Are you that naive? Are you that warped mentally that you can't just sit down and understand what the fuck is going on in this country? I hate to even talk about my partner on this, sat123.com. sat123.com/JJ. You don't have to believe what I believe. That's fine. Like I've told you before, I'm different. I get it. But I'm not wrong. I'm different. I think differently than you do. But I'm not wrong. I'm spot on. And you know I'm spot on. You know it. On some level, you know it. You see it. You see something out there in the real world and it's uneasy. It makes you queasy. It makes you feel like what? And you can't really understand what it is, but you know. You know. And my family's going to be prepared. Am I going to be prepared for everything? No. But I will be prepared to take care of my family. And one way that I believe I can care for my family is time. When chaos is happening and the world's crumbling, I need time to understand what's happening time to make a decision. Well, what gives me that time? Generator, ballistic backpacks, communication through sat phones. You get a free sat phone with Sat123 with a monthly subscription. Monthly subscription is like $95. You get 150 minutes a month. Our world is sick. Like I write in my title of this episode, the world is morally sick, and we will pay a heavy price. And we will pay a heavy price. Be prepared. Go to sat123.com/JJ. You want to support me? The best way to support me is to go to my website, jjcarrell.com, Substack at jjcarrell.com, jjcarrell.substack.com. You hard times can't get another monthly subscription. I get it. I understand. I've been there. Sometimes I've been there many times. But I do offer a lot of free articles, videos. And then for the paid subscribers, I do a whole nother video set, a whole nother writing. Best way to support me is to go to my website or go to jjcarrell.substack.com. And please go to YouTube. Many of you guys are watching this on YouTube and Rumble. Please click the share and like and subscribe button. That helps. You don't think it does? I fall into this. There are people that I follow, and I'm like, damn, they're great. And then I ask myself, did you even follow them? Like, did you subscribe? The very minimum I could do for those guys and girls that are so good at what they do is to subscribe. So I get another email in my inbox. So what? I love what they do. And the best way I can support them is to subscribe. So do that for me, would you? I appreciate it. I'm not going to get off of this topic today. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to someone that a lot of people hate. They hate her. They hate her because she's a truth teller. And let's listen to what she says about pedophilia.
That pedophiles are in power.
Yes.
They are literally in power. And that is intentional because then they can be controlled while they are in power. And they are also exhibiting signs of a psychopathology that lets them know that they will do harm to the masses and feel nothing because they were themselves, many of them, raped when they were children.
Yep.
It's not a coincidence that Justin Trudeau is gay. Obama, gay. Zelensky, gay. Emmanuel Macron, gay and married to a trans man who molested him when he was a child. And that despite the overwhelming evidence, for me, the litmus test now is like Brigitte Macron. I'm like, if you want to figure out who is a fraud in media, there's no way to read that 6-part series and go through it and come out of it being like, no, totally legit. Like these are just rumors. It's like one picture of yourself in your first 30 years of living, please. And they
show me her brother.
Where's your brother?
Where is
John
he?
Michel.
I'll show you my brother. Yeah. Where's your brother?
Yeah.
It's actually
what she said is so spot on. She just went down the list. They're gay. Well, how do you think they manipulate them? How do you think they get them to do what they need them to do? Have you ever looked at Trudeau and said, well, that's a straight up masculine man. He's going to a bar and pick up chicks. No. I don't look at Bill Clinton and say he's gay. He's a womanizer. He's not gay. Look at Obama. He's gay. You look at Biden. He's a sexual deviant / I would feel very confident to say he's a pedophile. Not gay. Macron. You think Macron's had sex with a woman in his entire life? The answer is no. Well, why is this important to have all these gay men leading these countries? Well, all these gay men are compromised. What is it that you can't understand? What is the last thing to do to a man or a woman that will crush their career? And that is to expose them for malicious sexual deviancy. That's it. People that kill people, murder them, we can get by that. We can kind of articulate that. Why I killed them. What was my mindset? People steal money. Well, I found Jesus. What you can never, ever, ever come back from is sexual deviancy, because everyone knows you're a freak. And if you're a freak in that world, in that part of your life, you're a freak in other parts. Have you ever wondered why politicians can go in just raring to go, like they're spitting fire, and then they get in there and they vote completely 180 degrees difference, and they just kind of disappear? You don't hear from them. As people that have been inside that business say, they're either pedophiles themselves, sexual deviants themselves, or they know of the sexual deviants and pedophiles and remain silent, and therefore they're complicit. It begins to make sense when you think of it like that. And our nation is morally bankrupt. We are living in a cesspool. A cesspool of immorality, sexual perversion, corruption, fraud, lies, deceit. I like to play this. I don't like, that's not the right word that I want to say. But I feel compelled to play this again. This is, and I've replayed it time before, Sarah Ransom, talking about her being trafficked and raped on Epstein Island by the powerful people. Isn't it funny how you had all of these people, Judge Kavanaugh, and now the Trump, and all of these just truly mentally ill women, and the left are all on board. We have to trust them. We have to believe. And everybody's looking at them and saying they are mentally insane. And yet silence when you hear about the people from Epstein's Island. Why is that? Have you ever just asked yourself that? Could it be because we are so corrupt in the media, and that the people that are in media are in or have participated in those sexual rapes and orgies and evil and sacrifice on Epstein's Island and if you think Epstein's Island is the only place, that you're a fool. But let's listen to Miss Ransom as she tells us exactly what she went through.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison, because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on.
10. And nothing. No one's been arrested. There's no statute of limitation. You raped a 10-year-old. You don't get, I don't care what. No. Why isn't this front page news? Why isn't everybody in America demanding, I want to know who are all the people that raped, all the Johns? If you go to Podunk anywhere in America and the local sheriffs or PD runs a prostitution sting, all the men that are the Johns that are soliciting prostitution, guess what happens the next day? Their faces are in the newspaper and they're on the news. Like splattered. Here's the the men's name and their faces. The average American that wants sex and purchase it from a woman. I'm not okay in this. I'm just saying they're having sex with women They're making a transaction. No one's raping these women. We could say that they're on down and out and there's a whole, but ultimately they're not raping. There's a money transaction, good, bad, or indifferent, evil, sin, whatever. It's a transaction. And we plaster their names and their faces all over the news. And yet, when the most powerful people in our society rape young girls as 10 and younger, have giant orgies, torture, kill young girls and boys, let's forget about it. I will tell you, as I go down this dark rabbit hole of truth, there are times where I swear to you, I'm like, fuck it. I'm out. I'm out. No one's going to do a damn thing about this. I'm out. I'm out. I'm just going to hunker down with my family and protect them the best I can. I do. I want to leave. Swear to God, I just want to be like, you know what? I've been doing this for about 2 years now, writing books, doing documentaries, and then about the last, I would say almost 2 years, perfecting and I still need a lot of perfecting my podcast and how I articulate my views. It's a work in progress, but I'm trying. I feel like I'm doing good, getting better every day, but I'm not great yet. But there are days where I'm like, I'm out. Get me the fuck out of this world. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to go on X anymore. I don't want to see this beautiful woman talk about being raped 3 times a day as a 10-year-old. Can you imagine being raped 3 times a day at 10 years old? I'm sure that she wanted it, right? I'm sure if you asked the politicians and all the scumbags, they would tell you, well, she really enjoyed it. She did it 3 times a day, so she must have enjoyed it. Could you imagine the internal, not even the psychological? We won't even get into the psychological just for a second. Just let's put that to the side. I'm not negating, I'm not minimizing, I'm not diminishing the mental destruction, the psychological destruction. Let's just put it to the side just for a second, and we'll bring it back into the picture. But right now, I want you, as an adult man, an adult woman, that are watching this show, because I see my data and it's my audience and I know who they are, and they are people that are adults. I want you to try to understand on some level what type of trauma having vaginal sex with a 10-year-old would do to that 10-year-old's body. It would destroy her. Literally destroy her. That little girl's body is not made to be subjected to a grown man's full erection. Let's have this discussion. You want to, oh, Jay, this is too harsh. And no. And I know YouTube's going to strike me, and I get it. But you have to hear it. And it's not even graphic. It's not even graphic. I'm just telling you what is happening. You want to get graphic, then we can talk about vaginal and anal tears. We can talk about festering STDs. We're talking about having multiple, like 15, 20, 25 surgeries just to urinate properly again. That is what the media is ignoring. And after watching the show, if you're not just raging pissed off, you know what? Honestly, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. I want to end. My show's coming to an end. I almost want to say thank God, because I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. I want to rest. I'm going to tell you what I want. Honestly, the thing that I want is I want to rest. And I want them by the thousands. And I want them tried, and when they're found guilty of raping children, I want them slaughtered. And I want it to be on TV. I want everyone to watch it, and I want them to. I don't care about the pain and suffering. Just take a bullet and put it right between their eyes and kill them, and then leave their bodies to rot somewhere. But we won't do that. Why won't we do that? Because number one, we're corrupt. Number two, the vast majority of the power brokers are incestuous in their pedophilia and sexual perversion, and they're all tied to each other. Three, we are so morally bankrupt. We have no idea what God is, who he is, why he exists. We all believe we came from mud puddles somewhere as a tadpole. And four, Americans don't have the stomach for it. Americans would rather live in a world of fantasy. Here's something that's not a fantasy. Lost children in America range anywhere from 400,000 to 800,000. Why the discrepancy? America can tell you where a bad chicken came, where it came, what farm it came from, what processing plant it did, and then the actual grocery store where it's sitting. Interesting, but they can't tell you the people that have been raped by these animals. Nothing's going to get done, and I know that. I'm going to play this man. This is the artist formerly known as Jess, and he has an incredible way of articulate, even though his language is like just mine, a little bad. He really kind of captures the anger and the resentment of the average American. And when I mean average, I'm not meaning derogatory, just the normal American. He captures it completely.
I think we should all take a minute and truly appreciate how fucking pathetic Bill Gates is. So in the Epstein files there, he contracted an STD from some Russian girls that Jeffrey Epstein supplied him. And then Bill Gates started emailing Jeffrey, complaining to him about his STDs and describing his tiny little penis and what was wrong with it. And then Jeffrey had to explain to him that he had STDs. Then he had to get Bill Gates some antibiotics for that. And in that process, Bill Gates gave the STD to his wife, Melinda. And then Bill Gates starts emailing Jeffrey Epstein about how he can slip the antibiotics to his wife without her knowing. Like, I can say, like, I've never had to fucking try to drug my wife. Like, I am not that. What a piece of shit. Like, what a sad, pathetic piece of shit Bill Gates is. Because it gets even funnier than that, right? Like, Epstein loved playing Xbox Live and playing Call of Duty and shit. The dude was a gamer. Like, was playing World of Warcraft and shit, right? So Bill Gates annoys the fuck out of Jeffrey. Like, he's like, you got to help me slip Melinda these fucking antibiotics. And Jeffrey's like, you're fucking annoying the fuck out of me. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And so, like, they have a rift over this shit. And he's like, stop fucking calling me. And, like, Jeffrey Epstein's like, fuck off, Bill Gates. So what does Bill Gates do? Deletes fucking Jeffrey Epstein's Xbox Live account. Kicks him off. Bill Gates kicked Jeffrey Epstein off Xbox Live because he fucking wouldn't help him slip his wife antibiotics. That's some funny shit. Bill Gates, you are truly a epic level piece of shit. Makes you wonder, like, was Bill Gates pushing the 2020 vax? Like, that was his under the ground covert way to slip his wife some fucking STD medication. I think that's a possibility that we should probably investigate a little more. Melinda, did you take the vax? Did you take that vax? Do you have any STDs? All questions. No answers in any of that, so learn to laugh at it, because this is fucking upside down clown world ruled by satanic pedo motherfuckers. So good luck to you all. Long live the Republic.
We are run, and he is absolutely right at the end. We are run by satanic pedophiles. If you don't get in the game, one day we are all going to die, and we're going to stand in front of God, and he's going to ask you one simple question. What did you do?